How y'all doing this morning? How are y'all? Maybe that's better. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning, Miss Digital the C. Good morning. Good morning. How you doing this morning? How was your weekend? How are you? How you doing this morning? Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. How y'all doing? What's going on? Good morning. Good morning. Happy Monday. And it is a happy Monday. It's a very, very happy Monday. Let me see if I can make sure I can see myself here. Oh, can't do it that way, can I? There we go. How y'all doing this morning? I got a pretty bad breakout. Got something in my hair too. See, I got it out of there. All right. Look, the intention wasn't to make this in my own personal mirror, but here I am. Because I'm on my iPad, and so everything's like boom, much bigger when you're on your iPad, child. Good morning, good morning, good morning. I hope y'all doing well this morning. Shoot, it might just be me. And if that's the case, I'm just gonna be doing it straight on to you. Good morning, Miss Linda. Good morning. How you doing? How you doing? How was your Miss Linda does a sip and blend. She's been doing a couple of them on Fridays. Good morning, Monica. Monica, I got my water. You got your water? I got my water this morning. I'm gonna take me a little sip. How y'all doing this morning? How was your weekend? How was Blend and Sip? Every Friday, she's been hosting these blends and sips, and she talks about art and Midjourney and all the things. Make sure you're following Linda B so that you can. Thank you for sharing the live. I appreciate you. Sharing is caring. It's the only way I'm gonna grow. Let me go over here and just double check my YouTube setup here. Make sure that's all set up and ready to go. Boom. All right. Good morning. Good morning. How y'all doing this morning? I got stuff all over this shirt. It ain't gonna change nothing. You just gonna have to be annoyed that it's there. How y'all doing this morning? Happy, 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 happy Monday. It's the start of the week, and it is the last week of this month. And you guys know I love transitioning out of one month, entering another month. The bottom line is we've done this 8 times, about to be nine. This is our ninth time. We've been doing this since January for 2025. Good morning, Fire Love. But really, we've been doing this since October, November. But the first couple months, I don't really count. Like I was just building up consistency because I didn't have a full like thing in my mind. Like, how is this all gonna work? But here we are, wrapping up yet another month, a little bit stronger, a little bit wiser, and ready to tap into our own greatness. And I'm happy that you guys are here. How was your weekend, Miss Linda? Let me read these comments. Oh, Monica, it's your baby's first day of school. Aw, I love that. Is she excited? My kids were glad to be back. They were sick of me, sick of me and all my daily tasks I had for them to do. Okay, just want to double check over here. They were sick of me. So they was like, yeah, we got to get back to the friends. We got to get back to our friends. Anybody else have kids heading off to school? Let me know. Listen, I'm glad to be here. My kids are in, this is week 3. They're going into week 3 of school. Let's see. Miss Linda spent some time with her youngest darling, and learned some new things. I love that. I love that. Good morning, good morning. Those of you that are coming in, let me give my little spiel. Oh, yes. Yeah. If she transitioned into high school, I taught high school for a long time. I taught high school 11 years. And y'all, I have a lot of thoughts about this. We won't go into it today. But that transition from 8th to 9th is tough. Fun fact, not fun, but your highest dropout rate starts in 9th grade. And so the mental, the emotional transition can be quite hard. So she probably is nervous. It can be really an emotional roller coaster for the 9th graders. So sending her hearts and love. And the good thing about your daughter is she's got a powerhouse of a woman behind her, ready to support her every step of the way, even if she's not willing to, or, she's young. She may not even be able to fully communicate. But I'm telling you, yeah, 9th grade is a beast. 9th grade and 12th grade, those two, 9th grade is a beast. 10th grade is when they do stupid stuff. 11th grade, they mellow out. Them last 3 months is the next time that they experience, the last 3 months of high school is the next time that they experience like this whole mental, physical, and they do stupid stuff sometimes, mental, physical, and emotional transition. And it's another tough season. Y'all can tell I have a lot of passion about working with high schoolers. So I hope that she has a great start to the year. And I already know you're going to be right there at the house waiting for her to come home to get a debrief on how it went. And congratulations for getting her this far. Good morning, Watson. Those of you that are just popping in, let me give my spiel. This is Morning Motivations, and every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, I just try to come on and offer you some support, encouragement, tips to help you navigate this thing called life, y'all. I am so imperfect, it makes no sense. My imperfection meter is high. So some things I do well, some things I get entirely wrong. And it's my hope and goal to just work on getting a little bit better every day. And I invite you to do the same with me. During this call, I walk and talk because I need the exercise. But all levels of movement are welcome. And yeah. So don't feel like you got to be walking, baby. You could be laying up in your bed. It's fine. A lot of people listen to this kind of podcast style, to just try to grab some tips along the way. All right. This month, we have been hosting the Power of One challenge. One post every day, 31 days. One post every day, 31 days. That has been the challenge. It's been a great experience. I'm learning a lot about how to lead a school, what I'm doing well, where I need to improve. I'm also learning a lot about my current audience and what kinds of content that I create, like what I create, what are they drawn to, what are they ignoring, and my content's getting better and better as a result. It's been a really good experience, and I can't wait to do more stuff like this. I kind of feel like between the Let Them book last month and the challenge this month, like I've been challenging myself for the last 2 months. So next month, we will not have a formal challenge, and we're just going to talk about getting the business, getting the art of taking care of your business so that you can bring in that additional income. All right. So I'm going to simplify for September because, baby, we did a book study last month, and now we're doing we're wrapping up. This is the last week of the challenge, but it's not too late. Good morning, Just. Good morning, Talent. Good morning, Miss Samela. If you feel like, I didn't really participate, the goal is to post. The goal is to post. One post every day. It's what you actually probably should be doing anyway. So just keep in mind, all year, you should be working towards posting something on a daily basis. All right? That's all I need y'all to know. We just did this little monthly challenge this time to kind of help us ground ourselves in that work. All right? But I do got things I want to talk about today. So we're going to talk more about positioning, right? We've got to talk about how do you become an authority or a thought leader in your space. Some of you may say, well, do I really have to be an authority? Yeah, a little bit. So we're going to talk about why, and we're going to talk about how it impacts us, okay? A lot of us are posting our content. We're creating our websites, but we're kind of waiting to be found. We hope that people scroll our post and stop. Maybe they stumble across our school or community. We're hoping that our family will join, that our friends will join, that they'll send the link to a friend. We're hoping that when we post on TikTok or Facebook or Instagram, that we're just going to magically grow. Because what we put out was beautiful or charming or cute. But here's one truth. You're actually not that hard to find. You've got to learn how to stand out. And that's what I'm learning too. So this is a message for both of us. Good morning, Charlotte. My daughter's name's Charlotte. That's already a great name. Good morning. But that's the truth. Okay? The truth is, you're actually not that hard to find. But what you have to learn is how are you going to stand out? All right? When AI came on the scene, it was actually easier to stand out before AI. So before AI, it was easier to stand out. I'll tell you why. A lot of the work that we do to build shops and stores and create content, there is only a small percentage of people that were doing it by hand. They were doing it manually. So it was easier to stand out because there was only a small percentage of the people writing out their email funnels by hand. I can't even imagine. I have to write all my email funnels by hand. They were creating their journals by hand, their templates by hand. Y'all, this has only been over the course of 3 years. So it was actually a little easier to stand out. And what I'm learning is that now that AI is here, now that you can build faster than ever before, then your job as the creative is to be more authentic in your storytelling. It is to find unique ways to stand out. Doesn't matter if you're a faceless brand or not. You still gonna have to make sure that faceless brand stands out. Because when you don't do that, then you just become a sea of other products that everybody else has seen or had before. So it's about how you position yourself. All right? Being an authority. Right, Monica? People were writing their email funnels out. They were typing them out. They had to take time to prep them every week. We can't even think. Wasn't nobody making, there were journals, but there are journals now. Y'all understand? You can set up an Etsy shop in a day, a beacon shop in a day. Shopify gonna take a little longer. Right? You can do it in a day. I built my school in about 6 hours. My school has went from 0 to almost 300 in a month. That's the fastest growth I've had across anything I've done. We couldn't do that prior to 2022. We couldn't do it. It wasn't a thing. All right? But here's the truth. Here's the truth. Authority is not how loud you are. It's about how clear you are. And y'all, if y'all don't hear this, because it's one of the biggest lessons I'm taking away from this entire 31-day experience. Okay? Biggest takeaway. It's been 3 years. Those of you who've been rocking and rolling with ChatGPT and Midjourney and all the things, right? You've been rocking for it you've been in every class. Every class that every mid to large influencer or thought leader has provided, you've been in it. You learned ChatGPT when it first came out. You learned how to prompt images when it first came out. Then when the custom GPTs came out, you took all the class, all of that. You've had an experience, honey. You've been on a journey. And still only about 10% of the US population really have a sense of what this thing is. And it's actually less than 10. It's less than 10. All right. So you have an advantage over 90% of the population. But the catch is you have to be super, super clear in what you communicate to your audience. You have to position yourself. You have to find unique ways to stand out. And then you have to be very, very clear about what it is that you're trying to do. Okay? Because at the end of the day, this is about the right people seeing you. You don't want them to just see you. You want them to choose you or choose your brand or choose your business. That's what this is about. Good morning, Passively Jazzed. Good morning, Talia of Artfully Melanated Designs. Good morning, Alex. Welcome in. I'm glad to have all of you here today. We're talking about how we have to move away from waiting for people to discover us and start uniquely positioning ourselves so that people choose us. And it's not about being loud. It really isn't. It's about being clear. The best pieces of content I've done this month, when I look back, the message was clear. It was clear as day that my audience understood what it was I was communicating. Clear as day. Crystal clear. That they were understanding what I was saying because it showed up in the engagement. It showed up in whether they saved the content. Like, it showed up. Right? So what I need you guys to do is to follow that same pattern. All right? You've got to decide what steps you're going to take to put your own fresh take or fresh position. Okay? And you've got to really simplify and think about what is the message that I'm trying to communicate and communicate that as clearly and as simple as possible. When you're able to pull that out, everything's going to start to change. Questions for you. Questions for you. You can put them in the chat or not. Good morning, my YouTube folks. Where do you feel where do you feel you're still, where are you? Are you still waiting to be discovered? Or are you positioning yourself? You can drop your answer in the chat, but it's not required. But I really want you to give that some thought. Are you still waiting to be discovered in business and in life? That's something to think about. And what's one way you've positioned yourself well lately? Now, I'm going to call on Miss Linda because she's been doing it. Miss Linda has been kicking off Friday doing her blend and sip sessions where she comes in, she's going to show you some art, you're going to do some things together. She's going to share her offerings. Nobody else has done it. She's positioning herself and her brand. She's creating a certain tone. It's very calm. It's a relaxing experience. You get to connect. That's positioning. She's consistent. I think this is maybe last week was probably her second or third week. That is positioning. Talia is making a transition. She's been doing Color Me Calm for a little. Oh, we hit our year mark. Happy birthday. She hit a year mark in July. Every week. I think she's canceled twice in 12 months. Very, very consistent. Very, very persistent. Supporting her community, whether it's 2 people or 10 or 20. But now she's engaging in positioning. She's moving from a Zoom Facebook format into TikTok. Her Color Me Calms are now going to be hosted on TikTok. Slightly different format, but she's engaging in something new that's unique to her. That's positioning. Okay? And that's how you take steps towards not waiting for people to discover you, but positioning yourself so that the right audience chooses you. All right? Now, I'm going to give you some actionable things you can do this week. The end of the month is a perfect time to do these things. I'm going to put them in the paid creative community as well, but I'm going to talk to you about them. So there are 3 things that you can do to make sure that your message is clear. All right? You've got to clarify your voice. So both Talia and Miss Linda should have their new events listed in their bio, or they should be on their link trees, or they're going to have a sign-up form, right? So clarify your voice. How do you position while also clarifying your voice? Update your bio. Add a tagline. Create a post or piece of content around your message. Pin it to the top of your page. Make sure it says exactly who you are, who you help, and how you grow. Now, when I started this journey, I did just that. My very first post, I used the narrator trend to communicate who I was, who I help, and how I help them grow. It is still my top performing post over the last 30 days. I've got a few other ones that are starting to edge it out, but it's my top performing post. Why? Because I sat down and got honest with myself. And I've been doing this probably the last 2 or 3 months. Like, what is Martine doing? What am I selling? Why? And then I made sure, and I'm continuing to make sure, that I get better and better about communicating what that is. You can do that work as well. So here's a challenge. Screenshot your bio, your social media profiles, your link trees, all of that. Screenshot it. Throw it up in the ChatGPT and ask ChatGPT to tell you, how can I make sure that my profile adequately matches my message? It needs to be crystal clear who you are and what you have to offer. There can't be any misunderstanding. And then everything else that you create around it will support that. I think that's Christine. Good morning, Bearing My Souls. Good morning, Stephanie Smith. So that's the first thing. The end of the week is a great time end of a month is a great time to do this. Every month, you could literally audit your profiles. Is my message clear? Do I need to make updates? See, Talia is moving to TikTok. So she may have to go to Facebook or Instagram and say, Color Me Calm has moved. She's going to have to email her audience and say, Color Me Calm has moved. Here's where to find it. Right? This is about positioning and making sure your message is clear. Miss Linda might add blend and sip with me every Friday or whatever her rhythm's going to be. She can add that as a piece of her bio so that it's crystal clear what she has to offer. I hope that helps, ladies. And thanks for letting me use y'all as examples because you guys are positioning yourself to grow. All right. Other things you can do. Show proof. Share a micro story, a testimonial, or a quick win that shows that you have value. All right. So you can tell the story of this position that you're in now. What does that look like? Well, Miss Linda might screenshot some of the positive feedback that she gets in the comments of her Zoom and share about it on her socials. She might sell out of some of her products as a result and talk about it. All right. For Talia, she might showcase or do a screen recording of her going through the coloring process. Or she may grab snippets of her live recording calls, a moment of laughter, a joy, a sharing of, man, this is great, and share that out to her community. All right. So positioning yourself, yes, it starts with how am I going to step into the space differently? That's the first part. But the second part is you got to tell people what you're doing. Good morning, Sage. I ain't seen you in a million moons. Good morning, love. All right, so that's the second part. Second part of that magic. Okay? And then the last part. This is the part we don't like to talk about as much, but I'm going to talk about it. We got to be consistent. If this 30 days hasn't taught me anything, it's taught me that I got time to do things I said I didn't have time to do. If I get off the phone, if I wake up a little earlier, if I take advantage of the 30, 45 minutes before I have to go pick my daughter up from the bus stop, I can get some things done. I can get some things done so that I can be consistent. Now, in this 31 days, consistent meant every day. I don't know if that's going to be this case all the time, but you choose your level of consistency. Why you can't do, you mean to tell me you can't do 3 days a week? Good morning, good morning, good morning, Dion. I think that's Dion. You can't do 3 days a week. You can't be consistent 3 times. Really? Challenge yourself. What does consistency look like for you? And I'm telling you the secret sauce to TRM. I'm telling you the secret sauce to Color Me Calm. I'm telling you the secret sauce to morning motivations. Consistency. Whatever the rhythm is, 3 days a week, every day, it doesn't matter. You decide. And then you promise yourself and the people that you serve that you're going to show up 80% of the time. We've been doing this almost a year. I've dropped some pounds and cinched my waist. Several of my audience has. And the thing that we keep saying is, I show up because you show up. You show up because I show up. That consistency is going to pay you dividends. But we can't talk about getting paid until you get honest with yourself about how consistent you're willing to be in your business. We can't do it. It's going to take hard work. And I talk about this all the time. It's going to take hard work. It's going to take dedication. And it's going to take you being where you said you were going to be 52 weeks out of the year. are you posting 3 times a week, every week, all year long? And yes, you're going to take breaks. And yes, you're going to miss some days. But before we even get into all of that, just make a commitment to do it. If you do it, I promise you things will start to change in ways you didn't expect. Now, question for the room. All right? Because that's my message for you today. You got to clarify your voice, update your bios, send out these emails communicating your message, create content and pin it to the top so people know who you are, what you do, and how you help. You got to show proof that you're actually doing those things, and you got to show that proof consistently. So the question for you guys this week is, which of the 3 do you need to focus on this week? And no, we are not focusing on all 3. You are only one human being. So you got to pick one. You're not focusing on all 3 because you get overwhelmed and then you don't get nothing done and you're sitting in the same spot you were sitting in last week. So pick one. Of the 3, let me know in the chat, where can you focus this week? Clarity, proof, or consistency? Which one can you focus on this week? Clarity, proof, or consistency? Let me know in the chat. And then we're going to talk about, once you do these things, what the results could look like. Miss Monica, I know you got proof, because I know you've got some Etsy testimonials. Can we whip those out? I know you've got I don't know on Creative Fabrica. Can you see how many downloads that you've had? Your proof could be, my last bundle rendered over 300 downloads. Are you ready to get this new one? Let's see. Miss Dion said, hubby and I were just talking about consistency. It has helped me go live 2 times last week. You went live? I missed it. I need deets. Where did you go live? I need all the information. I need all the information. Miss Linda said consistency. All right, I like it. Okay, proof, consistency. Talia said consistency. Yeah, because if you can communicate like this bundle, with this bundle, this bundle, over 200 people are down, whatever the number is, but it's going away. Side note, I know I'm off track, but I'll get back. Monica, it's always great to post and hide bundles so it give people limited time. That way you don't oversaturate with your bundle and people feel the urge to download it. So that's just a side note. That's just a side note. I know y'all, but it hit me. I was like, whoa, that's actually a good strategy. All right. So let's see. Dion said we decided to do live sales twice a month. Can you go, folks? They're committing to twice a month. In 30 days, every last one of us can go twice a month. Because here's what I do know. Y'all get that direct deposit and go spend that money twice a month. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm-hmm. You don't miss a month unless you have to. You don't miss a month. That first and 15 come, you go, first thing when you wake up, what you do, check that bank account with consistency. If you are working and you have a job, or you're getting your retirement, or you're getting your pension, on the first, and some of you it's the 2nd and the 18th, whatever your 2 dates are, for the last 12 months, from August to August, on that morning, and if you got direct deposit the day before, you're checking that account every time. So don't tell me you can't be consistent, because you're consistent about what you want to be consistent about. All right. I love that. Congratulations, D. That's Dion. That's a huge win. I love it. Good morning, Melanie. I love it. All right, Miss Sage said consistency. Y'all, we can do this. We can do this. But you got to put in that work. And it's ugly. There was some content I pushed out. I wasn't really proud of it. But I was like, I'm going to do this every day. So this has to go out. It's not perfect. It's not the best. The lighting is terrible. I didn't say all the words perfectly, all kinds of stuff. Okay? But I pushed it out anyway. Oh, no, Dion, don't be scared. I'm on camera every week. There's nothing to be afraid of. People don't care. They really don't care. They don't really care what you look like. Not really. The audience only cares what you look like when the purpose of you being on live is what you look like. So makeup tutorials, people care. Potentially like fitness, weight loss, people care. But if that's not the purpose, like if that's not the driving force, no one cares what you look like. And my young girls, my 18 to 30-year-olds who hop on lives and they look a mess and they got their baby in the background and foolery. I look at them lives and they got 600 people watching them do nothing. And that's when it hit me like, girl, unless the purpose of the live is what you look like, no one cares. No one cares. They really don't. It was several. I was like, so it's 2 p.m. I hit a baby. Your knees is ashy. And you still got on that bonnet from this morning. And you have 400 people watching you. I don't understand. But I don't need to worry about what I look like because you don't care what you look like. And so I don't. Let it go. It's just another fear we use to keep us from getting where we're trying to go. And there's no need to do that. Good morning, Jordan. Man. Yep, you're the only one who care. Don't worry about it. You got to remember, Dion, you're talking to the wrong person. I'm walking on a treadmill. I'm on a treadmill. So, I don't want you to think I don't get it. I absolutely do. But I've had to learn, truthfully, no one cares. They really don't. I've got, my walls are chipped. I need new carpet. That was my thing. I was like, man, my house doesn't look like the picture perfect house that people have. I don't have the best kitchen counters. They're kind of beat up. I can't afford to fix it. That's just the truth. So my big one was like, I don't want people to see that my house isn't maybe as nice as their house. That was mine. So everybody has their thing, right? But you just got to get over it. You just got to get over it and get to business. Because once you get over and get to business and get consistent, that's where the sales come in. Now, here's my point. You guys said, I need to be consistent. That was the biggest response in the chat. When we become consistent, being chosen is going to start looking like the clients are DMing you instead of you chasing them. When you're consistent, your collaborators are going to invite you instead of you having to beg for a seat. In business, when you're consistent, your school community is going to grow because people can see themselves in your content. All right? So whether you're reaching for clarity, you need to communicate proof, or you need to be more consistent. There are benefits to all three. You just need to open the door and take advantage of it and quit making excuses as to why you can't do the things that you know you can do. And that's just it. That's just it. Yeah, Monica, you need to get over it. No one cares. They want to know what you have to offer. They don't really care what you look like. All right. Y'all need to have the courage of a mediocre, ugly man. Have the courage of a mediocre, ugly man. He don't care that his hair ain't cut. He don't care that his lips is chapped. He don't care that his skin is dry. He don't care that his shirt might not look the way it should look. If he think he want to talk to you, them lips gonna get to moving. And in your mind, you going, what made you think that I would want to talk to you? Have that kind of courage. You need to have that kind of courage. Good morning, Crystal. Because once you have that kind of courage, there's nothing that you can't do. All right? Have the courage of a mediocre, ugly man. And man, you be a millionaire at that point. You be a millionaire. I'm just saying. Here's your homework. Pick one platform or place that you show up and just do a quick audit. Guys, you can literally just screenshot it, throw it up into Chatty or the prompt generator of your prompt tool of your choice. All right. And the question is, does your profile, pin post, or intro tell people exactly who you are and what you serve? If not, refresh today. Refresh your pages. I know a lot of y'all been doing good. Good job. You updated your profile pictures. You updated your cover pages. Great. You done took grandmama off as your profile image. Good job. So we got to move a little further. Go update these platforms and make sure if your goal is to sell things there, okay, that you're actually doing the work to sell things there. Good morning, Ebony. Good morning, Purposely Creative. Now, closing thoughts, because your girl got to go work for the man. Things I need you to know. All right. I'm teaching a class September 13th. I'm going to teach you how I created my most popular video of the last 30 days, the narrator trend. Guess what the narrator trend does? It communicates who you are and how you serve to your audience in a fun and creative way. I'm going to teach you how to do it. All right. Now, full disclosure, you can find videos on how to do the technical part, so how to create the video. But the gap is nobody told you how to write the script. So I'm going to walk you through how to write the script. I've got a GPT I'm working on to help you with that process. Because it's not easy. It isn't. It's not easy. All right. That class is coming up September 13th. If you're a TRM Learning Patreon member, boom, you in there. If you're not, you need to become one. All right. Or you can go to my profile and grab the single purchase of that class. Second, in the paid creative community, I've got a 1-day challenge. Y'all, I'm like 9 people away from 300 members. I really want to get to 300 or more. So go in the paid creative community. You'll find a post. I'm going to do a drawing. Invite other people. If there are other people you think might benefit from my live content, from my classes, if you think there are people that benefit, share the school link with them. All right, I'll do a drawing, and whichever new member wins, name is pulled, they get a free class, any class they want. But you do too. Go check my profile, it's in there. All right. Then this week, we have Midjourney Mondays with Regina. That's tonight at 7. So if you need help with Midjourney, go check that out. In the paid creative community, the link is there. All right. That's tonight at 7. So if you need Midjourney help, that's your girl. It ain't me. She knows what she knows. All right. Tomorrow we have Color Me Calm with the Miss Talia. Color Me Calm is moved to TikTok. So make sure you head on over to TikTok tomorrow at 6 p.m. Central for Color Me Calm. All right. And then I want to say good morning, Toya. And then we're going to be back Sunday with Sundays with TRM. All right. We'll be back Sunday for Sundays with TRM. All right, y'all. That's all I got for y'all today. All right. You want people to choose you. We got to stop waiting for them to find us. They'll never find us, which means we've got to do a better job of positioning. Dion, yes, that is there's a crafting challenge that's happening in Talia's group. So make sure you're a member of her school community to start participating in that challenge. Yes. Great question. I'm not an admin or anything in her community, so you got to be in Talia's community. Make sure you go to Artfully Melanated with Talia to get more information on that. Yep, she said she's about to post about it now. All right, and thanks, Talia. Thanks for Linda for letting me use y'all as examples. Y'all are doing great work. So I'm honored to be able to talk about it live. They didn't really give me permission. I just went with it and just prayed it would be okay. All right, y'all. That's it for me today. Y'all have a great rest of your week. And I will see you Wednesday.